Yo, 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 yo. Welcome. This is episode number 7. Welcome to episode number 7 of the Culture Cannabis podcast. I am Anthony Lee. I will be your host today, aka Full-Time Tony. I'm with my older friend here, JC Coates.
So old. What's up?
Today, we have a very special guest. Me and this guy go back. We went to school together. He went to the University of Nevada, Reno. Born and raised in Vegas. Vegas made, baby. He's currently the director of marketing at the largest dispensary in the world, Planet 13. David Farris. How we doing, brother?
Yeah, doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. So what are we doing today?
I mean, I'm excited. This is a treat, right?
Yeah.
It's the largest dispensary in the world?
It's the largest in the world.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Well, I mean, here's the thing. So this is the Culture and Cannabis podcast, right? So, everybody knows, I think in Las Vegas, we do a monthly event. But we also have a podcast, right? We also have a speaker series, but this is a chance to kind of dive into people's story, kind of doing their thing, movers and shakers in the cannabis game. And we got a good one today, right?
Yeah, movers, shakers, and money makers.
That's what it is.
And that's what it comes down to.
That's what it's about.
You making any money over there? Or they actually pay you to do
yeah,
this?
they pay me to have fun.
Nice.
That's what it's about, right?
So how'd you get into that? You've been there for what, 3 years now? How'd you get into? How'd you get in with Planet 13?
Yeah,
medicine at the time, right?
Yeah. So yeah, we've gone through some transformations over the past few years. But when I was going to school in college, I came down for a summer, talked with ownership, and told them, hey, I want to do anything to help. So put me wherever. They took that as me as a helper, right? So I was in cultivation, I was in production, I was into our smaller medicine, our medical dispensary at the time, really just helping everything kind of flow. So Home Depot runs to helping transactions, really trying to become a jack of all trades. And they really appreciated that I was willing to do anything. I ended up completing that summer, ended up going back to college up in Northern Nevada in Reno, where we ended up going through a time where we needed to start wholesaling some products out into the market. They tried to do it in Las Vegas, and it was tough because we had a medicine branded flower, and then we had a medicine dispensary. So, I mean, our competitors were looking at us like, we're not going to hold your product and drive business to your store, right? So it's a little bit difficult in Southern Nevada. So I told them, hey, give me a shot. I'll prove you guys wrong if you're doubting me, and I'll come in there and sell some products. So went into Northern Nevada, just really eager to sell. Made a lot of sales, luckily, and really helped out the company. So as I concluded my time at UNR and graduated, I came down full time, focused on a lot of social media aspects and a lot of the marketing side of things. Eventually transformed into being the GM of that dispensary for a while, and took a larger role to be the marketing director and really do what I love, and that's branding and design for the company as well.
Definitely. And you guys, you guys weren't the largest dispensary before. You guys moved from a different spot, right? You had that spot off of what was that, Decatur?
Decatur and Sunset. Yeah.
That was medicine?
That was.
Yeah. So was that just medical only?
So the problem was when we were a medical dispensary, and in that July when it passed to go recreational, people would look at us and say, "Oh, medicine. Oh, they're only medical. I'm going to go to a different dispensary." Like, no. We're recreational too, right? That was an issue we were having. So we wanted to develop a really recreational focused brand. And to your point about how we transferred from that, we were the first ever transfer that license.
Yeah.
Nobody ever did it before.
Yeah, that's why it was so crazy.
Yeah. So a lot of people were like, I don't even think they're going to be able to do it. And we were figuring it out at the time. We were tunnel vision on making that happen.
Full steam ahead.
Yeah, we knew we wanted to be something bigger than where we were at there. Love the location. I love that store. Hopefully in the future we can tuck another license back in that store. But we wanted to do something grand and become noteworthy in the industry. And we felt like that was the best way to do so.
And that store off of Decatur was probably one of my favorite dispensaries before even Planet 13 existed. Like, that store was awesome. The customer service there was awesome. The flow there was awesome. Like, everyone was very knowledgeable. Everyone that I brought into town or like was trying to check out like the rec scene, I would always take them over to the medicine to go check that out, just because it was kind of flawless in the way that they did it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Was it because your homie worked there? Or
no, well, it's just like, I mean, obviously I knew that he worked there, but the atmosphere there is really good, right?
Yeah.
You know, the same. They brought the same vibe to Planet 13 just on a way bigger scale.
Because we learned from the medical market, right? We
Yeah.
knew that one-on-one service was super powerful. So when someone came in there, you can cultivate that experience based on what they're looking for, right? Do they want a quick grab and go item? They want to go in and out in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or do they want to spend 40 minutes there with a big Q&A session? So I think we were really dialed in and finding that a lot of people just wanted someone to help in their path, right? They wanted to ask a budtender, what's new in the store? Do you have any new products that just hit the shelves in the past week? Because I was here last week, right? Like it was a soundboard for them to help. Because as we know in the cannabis industry, it's kind of tough to go on the internet and find all these really specific details that you're looking for, right? The terpenes, the THC percentages. You know, sometimes when you go on Weed Maps or Leafly, that's not
Updated at all.
It's not perfect, right?
Yeah.
And so people knew when they came in the store they can expect someone to be there and help them.
And I think the biggest thing there too was the customer service. I think like every time I went in there, I was never like disappointed with the budtender or what, you guys didn't call them budtenders. You called them something else.
Yeah, we try to fight it a little bit,
Yeah.
but we're back to budtenders.
Oh, okay. So that's okay. So we had some really good budtenders.
What did you guys try to call them?
We were like we branched around like customer service specialist, right? Like we try to normalize a little bit because we still see a lot of people when we go, hey, this budtender can help you out. Budtender, what's a budtender, right?
Yeah.
You still see a lot of people confused by that language, but I think it's gonna stick, right?
Yeah, it's for sure gonna stick. I don't think there's
no way around it.
Yeah, like MedMen tries to do like hospitality host or whatever it may be, but like, dude, that's a budtender.
Yeah, nobody's gonna call them hospitality hosts.
yeah.
It's always interesting to me because like, you know, culture, like nobody's really like one person isn't really in control of like culture, right? It's just kind of like it amasses through, you know, just everybody, you know, participating in whatever, and it's just kind of like it becomes its own thing, right? And so budtender, who chose it? Nobody chose it, but
I think they're just like, oh, budtender makes sense.
Yeah, like chose itself.
Well, it
you know?
dates back a while. People just talking about
It's like the culture named it, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, you know.
Speaking of culture, when did you figure out you were down to be in the cannabis culture? Like obviously you went down there, you're, you know, eager to, you know, be in an industry. Where did you know that it was always going to be cannabis, or was that just like right time, right place?
Yeah, I think I kind of just fell into it, to be honest with you. I was just so eager for opportunities, and then I kind of look back and I'm like, hey, I've been in the cannabis industry for 2 years. Where did time go, right? Like I'm in the culture. I'm one of the more seasoned people in the industry, which is strange, right? 3 years isn't that long, but it is in the Nevada market, right?
That's like 10 years in any other industry, honestly.
Yeah.
And the amount of changes. Like what I always tell people that like 2 years is like 5 years in the cannabis industry.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think for us, when it's us with culture, I think Planet 13 mostly is we try to really normalize it and make it fun, right? We in our other store we were very medicinally focused.
Yeah.
Now we see that a lot of these tourists coming in town, they have medical ailments that they can't get helped in their specific state, but they come to us for medical usage, right? So generally speaking, our line of medical patients aren't wrapped around the building, right? But everybody who comes in is asking for something to solve a medical problem, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's where we have the biggest cultural impact for within our store.
No, definitely. And do you think, you know, like, I think it's super sick what you guys are doing, you know, with the large dispensary and really like breaking barriers, honestly. And I think that the fact that you guys went so big, it's helping normalize the industry. But do you feel as if that potentially the patients get left out in that scenario? Or do you think that you guys are still taking the time for, you know, the people that truly need it for medical reasons?
Yeah. Well, for me, it's okay if there's a medical patient and they need help, right? Do they know what they want? Can we get on our system or routine where our delivery team can give them the products where they can stay at home, right? Mm-hmm. Is that something that they like? If not, do they want to come in store and have someone to help them and assist them? We provide that as well, right? So we try to offer that amenity. We have an online pickup area and a medical area. So, I mean, the whole goal with our store and with our size, we see over 3,000 visitors a day, right? So we have a lot of people that go in and out of that building, but the goal is to cultivate that experience for what they're looking for. If somebody is a medical patient and doesn't want to spend time, doesn't like the theatrics, right? They don't want to see floating orbs. They don't want to step on an interactive floor. They don't care about cannabis being fun. They just want a specific product and they want to leave. We can create that experience for them, right? So that's what we're looking to do and transform. But we're really trying to ramp up our delivery system to be able to accommodate a lot of locals, because we're seeing a lot of them, a lot of medical patients are going more to the delivery route and getting that behind their closed doors.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the ease of accessing cannabis is becoming easier and easier. And I think it's awesome that, a lot of dispensaries like you guys are building these delivery services to make it, more functional for people like patients. And, you definitely can appreciate that. So looking forward, with Planet 13, you mentioned you guys are doing the coffee shop, maybe a pizza shop too, right?
Yeah.
What, talk about that. What's going on with that?
So our whole goal in starting this project was not only to be the biggest marijuana store on the planet, but was more focused around having people who want to consume cannabis or interested in cannabis spend hours and hours on our property, right? We didn't like the 7-Eleven corner store theme where, hey, they come in, they point to a product, they check out and leave. We didn't want that. We wanted somebody to actually have an experience where they're spending hours, they can have lunch there, they can hang out there, and maybe in the future possibly consume there as regulations pass. But we have a coffee shop opening there, Per Coffee, that's really going to be focused on a lot of craft brews and focused around on-the-go items, right? Quick grab and go, bites to eat, things like that. Mm-hmm. We have Rickety Cricket, which is a really popular chain out in Arizona. He's an award-winning pizza chef. So he just competed in Las Vegas for non-traditional pizzas. Always takes back some really solid awards. Mm-hmm. And so we're really excited to have him on the team to be able to offer really a variety of, we're thinking burgers, pizzas, a full lunch theme, because you get a lot of people walking from the strip or walking from where our location is, where they spend maybe 10, 20 minutes walking to our location, but maybe they're walking around the strip for hours, right? They build up an appetite. They just want to relax. They want to hang out somewhere. We want to be that for them. We also are opening up an event center, so it'll be about 2,000 square feet. It'll have an industrial roll-up door. So the idea is that door can open into the coffee shop and the restaurant. So for an event space, you can either have a private event or a cannabis wedding, whatever you want to do, right? But it can scale up from about 200 people to 450 people. Wow, which is pretty good. We're thinking of a variety of things. I mentioned cannabis weddings, industry events, corporate events, even educational events focused around, like you mentioned earlier, medical patients or people who are looking to use certain products for specific reasons. And then we are looking to also have, or we are going to have a production facility that's about 14,000 square feet. That'll extend our grand hallway about 115 feet. So you'll see a big portion of that production facility behind glass. So the goal is for you to see chocolate bars being made, gummies being made, a beverage line, all these cool interactive components so they can see how our products are being made. They can try the non-infused products and they can go buy them. In the future, maybe they can end that process by consuming them. But we're really excited about what we're trying to do as a cannabis complex. And we think that's going to be come full circle and create a full cannabis experience.
No, definitely. So we've been talking a lot about Planet 13, but you're a pretty creative dude. And you might hate me for bringing this up, but this guy had a mixtape at one point.
Oh no! Snap!
Big City, Big Dreams, right?
Yeah.
That was one of the songs. That wasn't the mixtape.
Yeah. When I was younger, when I was growing up, I always was. I laugh about it now, right? But when I was a little kid and like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, I had folders of my own cards. Like I was making my own characters. I was always drawing, always doing stuff. I dabbled in music for a while. Like I loved the creativity of making music. I'm always like doing all these different outlets. And it wasn't until when I was in college when we were in a marketing class and it was a big project. So you spent all semester working on a project. And the goal was for you to have a marketing plan, an idea of how to create a great advertising initiative. And it ended with, okay, fine. Once you put this together, then you work with somebody to bring this all together, put a pamphlet out, make a all this stuff, right? And why do I need someone else to do that? Why can't I be the person who not only comes up with the idea of the flyer, but also makes the flyer, right? Why can't I be the one-stop shop? And it was more so, oh yeah, well, we don't teach that in the marketing curriculum, which is crazy to me. Like you should know how to put together a flyer, right? It's like being a small business owner, right? What do you do if you own a car wash and you want to put a special out and put it on people's cars, right? You should be able to make that yourself.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's money you don't have to pay other people. So I really dug in deep and started learning like Photoshop, Illustrator, and it found kind of what I loved. And it kind of took me a lot of different ways before I found that. But I knew the creativity was there. I just didn't know how to express it.
Yeah, and I think that's what I wanted to touch on is like, you've been creative for a long time, right? Whether or not you like the mixtape or not, I think it's dope that at a young age you had been creating and you're just trying to figure it out. Do you have any advice for anyone that's kind of in your same situation or was in your same situation that's creative but doesn't really know their niche, like what they're looking for? Like, do you have any advice for those types of people?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of trial and error. I mean, look, it's not my favorite thing to bring up, but when I made music and trying to have other people listen to it and put myself out there, put myself in a vulnerability or a vulnerable state, it's a huge growth period. Oh yeah. Because you get people like, that's not good. It's like, oh damn, I got to get better. Like, all that feedback that you get through that trial and error period creates you, right? That strengthens you for your future. And I think that really helped me a lot. I try to, before I had my shield up, and now I kind of embrace that criticism because it does make me better, right? Yeah. You have to kind of pick and choose what you take in, but it does kind of transform who you are as a creator.
Oh yeah. And I feel, for me personally, like, at first, when I started Reno As F, I got so much fucking shit for it. Like, so many people were like, bro, that's the dumbest fucking idea. Right. And I was just, you just have to kind of push through, right? And, taking the verbal L's of people just being like, bro, that's dumb, that's never gonna work, and then succeeding is like one of the best feelings ever. Yeah. So I think that's super dope.
What I always look at too is if you create something and somebody has a negativity towards that, it's kind of like what have you created, right? If they have created a lot of successful brands and they're really strong in what they do, and they give you feedback, I mean, I always say, okay, maybe listen to what they have to say. Yeah. But most of the people that provide feedback on something that you personally create, it's something that is trying to put you down or saying, that's kind of stupid. That's kind of, no, you shouldn't do that, right? So that's not really constructive criticism. That's more so just negativity to your path.
Yeah, man. And it just, it's shitty too because, if you haven't been through it and you're first getting it, it's like really tough, honestly. Like, that criticism is really hard to get. But once you really get seasoned, once you get, a little salt and pepper on you, you figure it out and you feel better about it.
But yeah, I mean, I always like when I get the criticism or the haters or whatever, it makes me want to go run 5 miles and just work that much harder. And I'm just like, right? It's just like, it empowers me.
Chip on your shoulder.
Yeah. And because, I mean, I believe that we're here to create, right? Like we're made to create. We're supposed to create. And if you're not creating in some kind of, aspect, you're not really participating in life. And, people are going to talk shit.
Regardless.
You know what I mean? They're going to talk shit. And the people that do, so sad for them, right? And but yeah, I think what you're getting at is, like you can't let it bother you, right? I mean, for me, I always made it, it just drives me more. Do you get that or?
Yeah, I think some people are made also to have an entrepreneurial mindset. Sure. Where that also helps them during startups or I mean, when you made Culture and Cannabis, I helped kind of start Planet 13 and all of their brands within us. But you got to have that startup mentality where you're a workhorse, right? You work through that. You might listen here and there, and if you listen to it and you don't think it's good feedback, okay, head down. I'm going to continue to work. It's not worth my time, right? You got to, but not a lot of people have that naturally. That's something that you learn along the way, and I think it's just important to understand that. It's okay to take criticism to heart every once in a while. I think we all have. But you don't always have to do it, right? There's a growth period, and you got to get beyond that.
What about like self-criticism, right?
Oh, like
that's the worst, right?
Talking shit to yourself. Yeah, do that too often sometimes. But I think you're your hardest critic, right? You're gonna everything that happens. Self-criticism is good and bad at the same time. I feel like it can be destructive, but it can also be very helpful.
I think it's so important.
Yeah, well, it's the most.
I'm
important.
like the most self-critical person, and it makes me obsessive, and it obsessive in a good way, right? Like I don't outside of work, I still have fun. I still really enjoy life, but I make it a part of me, right? And I think that's really important. And I'm sure you do as well. You guys do with Culture and Cannabis and Reno As F, right? Like that's really important for you guys in your daily life, right? Yeah. It's almost a part of you and what you do.
Living the brand, as one would say.
Yeah.
So besides Planet 13, you have anything else going on? Anything that you're looking forward to? I mean, I see you on Instagram. You're always posting stuff, and you've been leading up to something, or
I'm always have something in the works.
Yeah.
So I mean, for me, I love developing brands. I love doing things. So we just launched a Leaf and Vine brand. It's a new feminine styled vape and concentrates. Has the goal is for it to have about like 15% THC or 15% CBD, more of a 70% THC, a little more of a social high, a little more relaxed. But that's been in the works for a while, right? And for me, in my free time, I'm always working on, I guess, brands and other things, right? Just fake brands that I'm working on, and I sometimes piece from those as we're launching other things. So it's just a constant stride that I do, that I pull creativity from other directions. But other than that, man, just staying focused on building Planet 13. That's where
number one goal.
That's my life. Yeah. But I'm so happy where I'm at.
Not a
now.
bad life.
Yeah, no, it's good. And I mean, back to earlier point, like I am just obsessive over the brand. So it's something that I helped grow, and there's just so much exciting things. Once we really change that landscape, I think it's just another game.
Well, have you been there? You've been in there.
Yes, one time I've been there.
Yes. Okay. I mean, that place is special. It's definitely different.
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, one of a kind.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, "Oh my God, the dispensary is so big. It's just too big, right?" It was almost like some people just weren't ready for it. You know what I mean? But it's incredible. Like I went in there. I think I met one of the managers. We dropped off some Culture and Cannabis flyers. Everybody was just like so nice, and it's just it's not like a dispensary. It is an experience when you go in there. It's not your average store, right?
Yeah.
And you guys are doing how many a day?
We see about 3,000 visitors.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
That's a lot.
So what we had to figure out, right, is how, from a business perspective, how do you make this profitable?
Sure.
But how also do you create that customer service that everybody loves, right? And you talked a little bit about our old store and carrying that over to the new store, but we do it like a Budtender boot camp. So any Budtender that we hire, we expect them to, of course, have a baseline knowledge, but they spend about 2 weeks really learning inside and out of our brands, and also specific strains and products, and they get tested repeatedly. So it's tough. We're not the easiest company to get hired into and to really get into a solidified role, because we ask a lot. We demand a lot from our staff.
Nice.
How's the company culture there? Like, what obviously you're just touching on it about you demanding a lot, but I'm guessing there's some type of energy that's happening.
No, I think it's such an upbeat facility, and there's something special about when you see someone who's never even been to a dispensary before, when they oh my God, right? They're taking out their phones, they're taking photos, they're FaceTiming people. You won't believe where I'm at right now. You won't believe it, right? It's kind of, I would compare it to when we went recreational. We saw so many people just ecstatic, right? They're just the happiest day of their life. They've been waiting for this their whole life, right? And they just want to tell the Budtender about, when I was your age, I did this, and this, right? It's such a moment they've been waiting for their whole life. And this is still what you get every day at Planet 13, right? There's people from all these other states that come into Las Vegas to have a good weekend. They hear about Planet 13, they go there, and they have that same reaction every day. So for you to be a Budtender and help those people, it's just a different energy.
Yeah.
We of course get a lot of reoccurring locals that go there, but that it's a powerful energy when you get someone for the first time.
Oh, definitely. And I think just even walking into any dispensary for the first time is something special. special. But walking into that place is just like kind of breathtaking, kind of takes you back a little bit.
How much is an eighth of weed over there?
It ranges from like about 55 to 65.
55
depending.
to 65.
Pretty average. They have a great selection too. You guys,
And all of our locals get it 20% off this whole store.
Oh, nice.
whoa,
Yeah.
that's a great locals
Yeah.
discount.
That's 7 days a week, every day, or very
Yeah.
cool. Are you guys open 24 hours or
24 hours.
So dope.
Yeah. What we're really working on right now is a lot of exclusives. So we just recently launched Tyson Ranch. So we had Mike Tyson in.
I saw that on Instagram. Mike Tyson at the store yesterday.
That's
right?
so dope.
Yeah?
Yeah. So we launched an exclusive with them. We work with a few different brands that really want to do exclusive drops at Planet 13, and we're really thankful. But the truth is, we do as much business as 4 stores would, right? So it's really powerful. We have that retail power where the convenience level for a brand to just drop off that much product at one store and not have to ship it all over Nevada, right? It just goes through one store, talk to one person, and all that product sold, done, right? So of course we're right now, our next step is really to open phase 2 and then go throughout the country. So we want to start expanding the Planet 13 brand into other jurisdictions.
So like California, Arizona, Utah potentially, if they're medical right now, but other states as well.
Yeah.
Same style too. Like try to be the largest dispensary there, or just like
No, it'll be a smaller version.
kind of like the Storm Decatur.
Yeah, we knew going into it that Planet 13 in Las Vegas was going to be a flagship store.
Yeah.
But we're really excited about. We have another brand called Trendy. So it's really like an upscale disposable vape pen, cartridges, concentrates, and I think about 2 months became the number 1 selling concentrate in Nevada.
Damn.
Yeah, so that was really exciting for me to be able to create that brand and get the exposure. And in reality, that's only out of 1 store, right?
Yeah.
It's exclusively at Planet 13. So that just shows you, to make that the number 1 selling concentrate in Nevada by just selling to 1 store, it just shows you the difference, right? It becomes a monster.
Yeah, well, you guys are doing a huge volume, probably double to triple the amount of any other store in town or in the state.
What is it though? Is it the location? Is it the size of the store? Is it the culture? I mean, why are you guys different? I mean, anybody could build a big dispensary, right? Like,
Yeah.
What makes you guys? What do you think it is? 1 or 2 things that's really getting the ball down the field for you
Yeah,
guys?
I would say it's a combination, but I think the attraction, the experience that we keep talking about, the orb show taking place while you're shopping, right? There's a show that goes on, the interactive floor. There's so much Instagram shareable moments that when people look at that, they're like, we should just go there. Let's go there for a few hours. Let's go there for a few hours, right? Because we see so many groups of people. So you can tell that somebody in that friend group saw something and they brought 4 of their friends, right? And we see that, and that's very common. But I think we really dialed into the marketing. We have the most cab in Las Vegas, so we have over 200 cabs. We have billboards, print ads. We're doing a lot of digital ads right now, and on the cutting edge of a lot of marketing tactics that isn't normal in the cannabis industry.
Nice.
And your press has been ridiculous. So much press. Like I've seen at least 200 different articles about Planet 13.
What PR team do you guys use, or
We utilize PR Media Now.
PR Media Now?
Yeah, and I think internally too, we've gotten really good at PR pitching. Something I didn't really know about, right? And we actually learned a lot too. We went public to raise capital to open the store. So that was a fun process that we went through, but learned a lot. I would say a lot. The hardest challenges for me personally was PR pitching and focused on PR. I was always like, hey, I know how to design things, but let's learn how to really capitalize on press releases and work through this.
Let's talk about that for a minute, because you call it PR pitching, right? So, I mean, you could hire a PR company, right? But they might not. It's really up to you to get them to create something for them to create the press, right? I mean, what's a PR pitch to you?
Yeah. So for us, what we try to do is we have a packaged assets, right, that we utilize. So a lot of B-roll, a lot of things for us to showcase and to grab their attention. But constantly we're looking at different angles to make their story interesting. So if a reporter's sitting there and they see Planet 13, yeah, that's a big marijuana store. That's cool. Okay. what do you want me to talk about? Right. That sometimes that doesn't grab them. Pot Network and other marijuana focused, publications, that's cool to them, right? They want to keep featuring how big we are and that we have thousands of strains. That's cool to them. But a normal publication doesn't think that's cool, right? So even with Mike Tyson and coming in, there's a whole different angle that we can talk about and get Planet 13 featured by Mike Tyson being there, aligning with their brand. It's all about really being creative in your approach and finding something that sparks interest. I could go through it like a few ideas before they say, oh yeah, that is pretty cool. Yeah, maybe we can set something up. We'll come down there, right? So even your PR company who's representing you has to live and breathe and understand your company inside and out, because it's not always successful in your first pitch.
Right.
It's about creating that relationship and developing that story, because we have stories that we've been working on for 6 months that maybe next week might get posted. Mm-hmm. And that's the difference.
Did you, so I think, with most PR companies, right? They're traditional PR usually just does traditional companies, right? And cannabis definitely isn't traditional, right? So how do you kind of choose a PR company that kind of gets cannabis and is able to kind of get out of the mold of like restaurant PR work, and more into like cannabis?
I think that's a great question. It's really challenging. We had some difficulty. Well, you get somebody in a room, right? And what we experience is we had some PR companies we were looking at, not to name any names, but they don't understand the culture, right? Yeah. They don't understand what the wave is now, what the wave will be in the future, or the past. So they're really removed. They're really removed from that whole experience. And so what you have to help them understand is what is the present, what is cannabis today. And so you get a lot of people who like, oh, okay. And then they keep saying the same thing. Okay, you're not a good fit. If you're not willing to learn and understand us, then it's not going to work, right? But you get some people who are open-minded, learn, live and breathe what you're doing, and then can replicate that story. But we did go through a trial and error period where some people just didn't understand.
Yeah, that's dope. And I think what makes you so interesting is that you guys are facing these challenges, right? You're pushing, you're doing the new thing, right? You're embracing what cannabis is, but you guys are pushing the boundaries, doing things, taking things to a next level and facing these challenges with the, and pushing through and getting it done, right? 3,000 people a day. That's fucking incredible.
And that's massive.
I'll never forget. I mean, I've talked to countless media, right? We even had a groundbreaking event. People thought we were crazy. I told them, hey, we're building the biggest store in the world. We're going to have over 2,000 people a day, right? All this stuff. Okay. Yeah, we'll see when it's done, right? And so if they're saying that to my face, you know what they're saying behind our backs, right? And we knew in the industry, nobody believed what we were doing. There's maybe one or two groups that even thought we were going to do it, right? Even some of these brands that we were working with, you could tell that they were a little skeptical. So we had a bunch of news teams for a groundbreaking event. And they're taking videos and all the reporters are taking me aside. Do you really think this will be done by November 1st? Do you really think that? Like, yeah, no, I'm telling you. How many times I'm going to tell you it's going to get done? So we ended up building that first phase in 5 months. And so when all the news team went there, it was like 2 months away and it was like a disaster, right? But we knew that we went to the market and said we were going to do something, we were going to do it, right? Hell or high water. So we're big believers in doing things the right way, and being focused on some of the grand vision of cannabis.
Nice. You guys are doing it. How's it feel?
It feels good.
Yeah.
It's challenging though. I mean, you hit on some points with PR companies. We're their first cannabis client ever, right? So you're working with all these companies and you have to teach them. It takes time. It does. So you have to have a really good management team, which we're lucky to have. A really good executive team, which we have a stellar executive team. But you got to be patient with a lot of these brands and people you work with because it's just the future. The future is you're going to have to be working with the PR agency. That's the future. You're going to have to, even if we didn't have all these attractions, how else are people going to know about who you are? Mm-hmm. And I think that's the way companies are going to have to transform, right? We see a lot of mom and pop dispensaries right now. I don't know if that's going to be the case in 5 years. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Do you I'm gonna completely switch it up on you because this is the question I wanted to ask earlier. But when you get into your creative process, do you use cannabis to help you get there, or what how's that look like?
Yeah. For me, I go into it without cannabis. For me personally, if I get in a roadblock or if I get stuck by something, sometimes I'll use cannabis to get that creativity or look at it from a new, fresh perspective. For me, I use cannabis mostly because my mind is a racy mind where I'm always just thinking about things, right? Like I'm thinking about 3 different scenarios before it happens. That's just how I work, right? And so sometimes I need to slow my brain down to focus on things or to just sleep. Like I'll be sitting there at 3 a.m. just staring at the ceiling like, okay, this isn't working.
Yeah.
I gotta smoke something. So
do you how do you what products do you usually use?
my girlfriend doesn't like smoke, so I use vape pens.
Oh, nice.
At home. Yeah.
The trendy ones or what?
Trendy. Medizin has a really good vape pen. So some of we have some international award-winning strains, but some amazing. Even the non-award winners, right? They're just amazing. Chris Wren's our master grower. He does a phenomenal job, and then Stephen is so good on the production side.
What's like your favorite strain? Like when what's your go-to?
$1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Baby. That sounds like a great strain.
Yeah.
What is it? What's that feel like? It's more euphoric, more relaxing.
It's a cherry pie, Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
$1 Million Baby. That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's really relaxing for me. I can't, man. Like even the sour diesels and things like that, they just don't mix with me.
Oh yeah. I feel but you're only usually using it for at night to go to bed.
Yeah, to relax my mind.
Not like you're not like a everyday wake up start smoking type of user.
No.
That's cool.
Yeah, because for me, man, like I always tell people, you have to utilize how does cannabis make you better,
Exactly.
right? And so if you know that you're naturally energized every day, you don't need to use you might not need that, right? But if you need to sleep at night, if you do need a pick me up, that can help you, right? There's always something to help you. You just have to figure out what's right for you.
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, I don't want to take any more of your time.
Killing the game, bro.
Yeah, killing it.
Congratulations. Honestly, like what you're doing and the team that you guys work on, it's amazing. Yeah. Thanks for being here. You guys are killing it.
Yeah. It's cool to see, and, just like knowing you from the past, it's really cool. Like to see like the progression where you started and where you are now. It's just super dope. So
thank you so much, guys. Pleasure being here.
I definitely have you back on the podcast a couple months. So
definitely maybe in next few months when we
launch,
open up phase 2 and do some other stuff, we'll have some new stuff to talk about.
Dope. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
man. Thanks, brother.
Thanks for everyone listening. That was episode 7 of the Culture and Cannabis podcast. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.